Let me tell you, how trying to go it on your own and save can cost you big time. I'm gonna tell you a story about someone that literally just happened that cost them $1 million. Let me tell you a story about how trying to do your own thing, save a little bit of money, can cost you everything. Let's dive in. So my wife, she is a real estate agent and she is amazing. She loves everything about real estate. She loves showing houses. She loves looking at houses. She loves looking at everything from the rooter to the tutor, from the foundation to the roof, right? And everything in between. She loves it. And she's so good about helping people see and find what they've been looking for, but also navigate the system. Because like all systems work, all systems have places where things can go awry. And if you don't have somebody that knows the steps, you don't have somebody that knows the process, you'll find yourself in a much worse off situation. So let's tell you about what happened. What she told me, right? Just a little while ago. So she's been talking to this lady for the last few weeks, almost a month, on a weekly basis, talking about what they've been looking for, the houses, the neighborhoods, the schools, the details. But the lady didn't want to meet up yet. Every time something came up, every time they were scheduled to have a conversation, sit down and meet, they didn't meet. Right? My wife, she decided to check on, to hit her up about this property or what was going on. Now, this lady had a budget for a $1.5 million home. And this that'll get you in a lot of house, right? $1.5 million home. And she was selling hers. And this was gonna get them into the next house and really no mortgage, right? She already had her guidelines, what she wanted, what everything was going, right? Come to find out, my wife's trying to get her to meet up with her so they can, do the preliminary stuff, some paperwork, and move forward with the process. But the lady was kind of dragging her feet. Now, this lady on the backside, her and her husband had decided to go it alone, right? To go forth and do this thing on their own, uh, with no representation, with no help, but was using my wife on the side for little nuggets, but didn't want to make a commitment to get the help. Keep following me now. That's gonna come back. Wanted to get some nuggets, but didn't want to commit for some real help. So wife hit her up. Long story short, they had put some money down on it's called due diligence. Uh, they put a lot of money down for due diligence on this home. But the seller said that they ain't paying for nothing. The house gonna be as is, and if you don't want the house after your inspection, we ain't fixing that. You gonna be out your money anyway. Now, my wife was like so confused. She was like, "So, did you have help?" These questions, and they went it along. They neglected to sign some necessary paperwork that could have helped them in this situation, so that they would have never had to put up the large sum amount that they did, that the maximum amount in this state of North Carolina, uh, they ended up paying the average going price for the amount of money they put down. They actually did double that. So if something shows up, it's going to be a huge problem. But check this out. It's bigger. It's bigger than that. Now, this issue, this problem, this situation that put this amount of money down for due diligence. The inspection's coming. And if they find something that's wrong with the property and they don't want to buy it, this due diligence is going to be lost. But this is the thing. The house is well above the budget that they had set. Remember I said 1.5? This house is 2.5, right? And they allowed the seller to manipulate them and tell them, no, you can't have representation. You go without an agent. If you got an agent, this ain't gonna blah 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 blah. But come to find out, house been on the market for a long time. A lot of people have looked at it, a lot of people have passed. The house hadn't had someone in it for quite some time, which means there's gonna be something wrong with it. Which means they're either gonna lose however much money they put down, or They're going to be in a house where they're going to spend excess money to get it leveled, to fix issues going into. So you're going to look at another X amount of money on top of it. But this is the thing. If they would have just made a commitment, right? A commitment to partner with someone that knew the ups, the downs, the ins and outs, the rules, the regulation, they could have saved themselves $1 million problem. Because remember, what accountability does, what real accountability does is remind you of what you said you was going to do. What real accountability does, remind you of what you said you wanted. Remind you of what you said was important. Remind you of the goals that you set for you and your family. That's what real accountability do. I said it's going to come back and we're going to start preaching now. What real accountability does is cover you. It disciples you. It protects you from you. That's what a real covering does. But when you don't make a commitment because you say, I want to save a little bit, I want to save a little bit of money, I want to save a little bit of this, I'm going to be able to handle my own deal. What you do is put yourself like the children of Israel, whenever they had to keep going around that mountain for 40 years, whenever it could have been a 2-week trip. It's because it was not a level of commitment. If you're all, come on, saying real about real estate no more. You have to be all in with God. You have to be all the way in with Him. And by being all the way in with Him, I'm not saying you got to be in church every day. I'm not saying you got to be in there anytime the door swing open, your face got to be there. Not saying that. But what I'm saying is you have to have a level of commitment. Don't just be riding the fence. Don't just show up to check a box. Don't just play church. Be the church. Because the truth is this. The church isn't a building. The building is where the church comes together. What we do is support the church, the body, with our finances, with our time, with our resources, with our love. But when we don't have that commitment, we find ourselves in situations like that deal where we give ourselves a raw deal, where we put ourselves in a position where it can cost us much more than $1 million or your due diligence. It can cost you everything. My brothers and sisters, don't forsake the assembly of the saints and don't run from discipleship. Leadership is in place to help develop and grow you to the next level. True leaders and ministers produce more leaders ministers. And when I say minister, it doesn't mean you have to get in a pulpit or preach or write a book. It means you serve. And whatever capacity that looks like for you, it may be serving in your local church. It may be serving in the marketplace. It may be serving in your household, your family, or even on your job. But serving starts by first being able to be poured into. Because when we walk around with the spirit of, I know, I got it figured out, we find ourselves in a position that we didn't have to be in. Because when you forsake help commitment with someone that knows the road and the direction, they can help you avoid potholes and pitfalls that you don't even know are in the way. Allow your GPS, your global positioning, right, system to guide you. But that system is there when you press the button and make a commitment on the destination that you want to go. Lock in, connect. It's not, what's that? The road ain't gotta be hard and bumpy and rough. But if you go it alone, you'll find yourself on a long, bumpy road because you went the wrong way. We will all make mistakes. We will all have ups and downs, but we don't have to go through unnecessary pain because we tried to save ourselves from committing or growing. I pray that this makes sense. I pray that this helps. And if you are in a place in that journey on your life where you know that you need some accountability, you need discipleship, you need help and growth, develop, first try your local church. Connect with brothers and sisters that are close enough to you to hold you accountable. And if you don't have a local church, you don't have community, and you need some assistance, be it in your marriage, be it on your in your life, your personal, on your journey, you need some accountability, some help, some structure, join our community on Facebook. We have weekly Bible studies. We have in-depth conversation. We have daily devotionals posted every single day. Shout out to Pastor Dave Appreciate you, brother. We have a community of people that are looking to grow together. Find your spot. Let us grow together. Not just in our words, but in our actions. Let's walk this thing out. Let us commit. Let us walk this road with those that know the way. Let us walk this road and walk with those that God has ordained us to walk with. You don't have to go it alone, nor should you. The Bible says, when God looked at Adam, he said, it is not good that man shall dwell alone. Let me make him some help. If Adam needs, don't you think you need some? Click the link below. Let's connect. I'm Calvin, the holistic Christian coach, helping leaders grow through biblical principles. A minister, a marriage improvement specialist, and could just be your coach. We'll see you next time. God bless.